Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Freestyle Fridays. My name is Sonia Marie. What's happening with you? Founder of Wordlife Astrology. I'm so happy to be here for just a brief moment. It is Friday and a girl needs to get a swerve on. I mean, not really, Sonia. I don't even know why I said that. I'm not going anywhere, but I do want to get my rest on. That's for ding dong there, I'm sure. What's up, Tenjin? How you doing over there on Instagram? What's up, John? It's always good to see you pop up in the place. What's going on? I appreciate y'all just dropping on in. Again, this is Freestyle Fridays, and we freestyle on this joint, meaning that we talk about whatever that comes up, whatever spirit wants to share. On Mondays, we come on here to talk about the week, the weekly rundown, astrologically speaking. That is a popular day of attendance, and hopefully that you can come and join us on Mondays and share this information. Subscribe. I'll be very, very honest with y'all. I'm not feeling too good. Like I'm doing my best to kind of push through this little bit of energy, but for some reason I'm feeling a little imbalanced. So I'm gonna ask for your patience, and I'm definitely gonna ask for you to assist me in this particular broadcast. How can you do that? Come equipped with questions, please, and very please. I'm gonna allow downloads to come on in as they must, as they can. But if there is something that's on your heart and on your mind, on your soul that you've been holding on to, I'd love for you to ask me. Remember, when you ask questions with me, because I'm not wearing my spectacles right now. And when I wear my spectacles, it gets all foggy. It's just too much. I would love for you to put a couple of question marks right before the question so I can pinpoint your question. I can pinpoint who it is that's asking me the question, and I can thus answer your question. All right. I wonder if Jay Walker's in the place. Let me see. Jay Walker, there you go. What's going on, Tracy and Danielle, Giselle? What's happening, Medea? Ayatunde is here. And Milana, my bad, Miss Howard. And Miss Reese is here as well. Hey. Jay Walker, the real reason why I asked if you were here before I get started is because I think I misread your question and I answered it all crazy on Monday. I went back to the comments. I was like, Sonia, he didn't ask you that. So I believe your question was when you get a personal reading with me, right? And please confirm this. When you get a personal reading with me, when is a good time to get a second reading? That was the proper question, right? Please confirm while I wave to some people over here on Instagram. What's happening, everybody? What's going on? Hey, folks on Instagram, I really would love for you to subscribe to my channel on YouTube at Sonia Marie's Word Life Astrology page. That's Sonia Marie's Word Life Astrology page. I am not going to be doing this dual broadcast after February. When February is done and over with, I'm gonna keep all my Mondays and Fridays here on YouTube. So please find me on YouTube and join our little family, our little tribe, our little village over there. Jay Walker, does it matter? Yes, that's what you meant. Okay, cool, good. All right. And forgive me because it's not that I was worried about it, but I just like to be thorough. All right. And when I went through that, I was like, oh no, that was a totally different answer. And you were so cute, you didn't even correct me. So here's the deal. When you get a reading with me, personally, right? I don't know about any other astrologers, so please don't count this as an answer for all astrology or tarot readings for that matter. But when I do a reading, when I do my 90-minute readings, you guys and ladies, and also my couples reading, any readings that I do, astrology for me is very intuitive, and I'm going to announce something very quickly after I explain this answer. It's very intuitive for me. So I utilize my ancestors and my guides and yours as well. The answer to that question is if you feel, the question was basically, how long would it take to have a second reading after the first reading or the reading that you had previously? I think it all depends on you. It depends on your guides. It depends on you and your growth. So here's the deal. If you don't do the work that was asked of you within that initial reading or that first reading, then the same information is going to come up in the next reading. So it's about how much work you do. It's about how you apply it. It's about listening to your ancestors and your guides guides that says, you know what, I think you need a little bit of clarity right now. So it's an intuitive answer as we deal with this magic, this modality, magical modality, in a very, very intuitive way. So that's more of the answer, Jay Walker. My bad. So when you feel it, honey, and when it's right for you, is when you get the read. I hope that makes sense. What's up, Ramon? Love to see you in here, Keena. What's going on? Okay, listen. There's a question. People in my life going MIA. Is that a question? Come on, 726, Monica. Let's get into the groove. Let's groove tonight. Like really, like what's the question, honey? Like, let's get down and dirty with it. What's happening? Because that doesn't seem like a question. It's more of a statement. You did. Let's talk about what we're about to roll into. And then, I have an announcement. We're going to talk about this announcement, talk about this download that just came from me earlier. And then I'm going to ask if you have any more questions. And then I'm going to be out so I can get some rest and get ready for this busy weekend that I have. The announcement is this. I'm starting another installation of the Village Hut, and I want you to join me. There's only going to be 8 people. And it's not going to be 6 months like it was the last couple of Village Huts. It's going to be 2 months. Every week we meet on Zoom every Tuesday. Please go to my website if you want to sign up. For what? To learn how to read Western astrology, natal charts. I love for you to get down with the village. But here's the deal, is that I don't just teach about reading astrology charts, although that's a big, big piece of it. I also teach and facilitate and assist in clearing energy and information off of you, people that's around you, getting you in more alignment with your ancestors and with your guides, so you can assist and facilitating astrological readings. I don't think it's enough to just know the information, y'all. As far as I'm concerned and what it is that I do, I always open up and allow spirit to tell me exactly, allow our angels and our guides to tell me exactly where to go in people's chart. Why? Because your chart, your natal chart, even though I know a lot of information, and you will too if you take the Village Hut class, even though we may know a lot of information, it's not enough to help the person with what they're going through at the time if you don't pinpoint and go to exactly what it is that they need to hear. Does that make sense? Meaning that there's so much to talk about. If you just spend time going through everything that's on the chart and you're not in tune with what spirit says, and like, you know what? They don't even have a man right now. Why are you even talking about love? They don't even have worries about a house right now. Why are you talking about them moving? We need to focus on this. We need to focus on that. So within our Village Hut, I take people through a series of rituals, cleansings, information, modalities, setting up altars, doing the things that we need to do to prep ourselves to be in alignment with spirit in order to do this work. I'm just not talking astrology, y'all. I know I'm funny. I think I'm cute. And I know I'm very, very smart and have a lot of information. But most of what it is that I do and the strength that I have and the clarity that I receive come from higher ups, come from our ancestors and our guides. I literally walk what it is that I taught. And that's for real. That's word. So the bottom line is I like to teach that. I like to shake us into shape in that way. Because what's the reason for doing spiritual work if you're not doing your best to walk that space yourself? You dig what I'm saying? Or and enlist the council of people, the council of energy, the council of ancestors and guides that's on the other side that absolutely know a whole lot more than we do. We have to take the information that we're given and the guidance that's bestowed on us and make it the best, in my opinion, the most pointed information and advice as possible. Does that make sense to anybody out there? Yo, if you want to take my Village Hut class on YouTube, I'm sorry, what's your name? Instagram, go to my link in the bio. It's called the Village Hut. Please sign up right now. Like I said, it's only 8 spots available. It starts March 7th through April 25th. It's gonna be chock full of nuts. It's gonna be hella fast. It's for every level of astrology knowledge that you have. You can enter into this hut, and we become lifelong friends. Not really. It's not like you come into my house or anything having dinner. But the bottom line is we stay connected, because once we're in this village and once you know the people that you know that are helping you on this journey, and you're helping them, they're helping you, we stay connected forever. I can't even tell you why it happens like that, but it's just kind of like the people that I set myself up with. I can't even explain it anymore. I'm a little foggy again. Please forgive me for that. But I'd love for you to sign up for real on YouTube. The information will be in the description box below the video. So come on and sign up if you can, if you want to learn. Here's the deal too, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all because that's just who I am, right? I'm not going to be doing this for long. And what I mean by that is like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I'll always have clients on some level, but to the amount of energy that I like to extend and how I like to teach people to extend, right, can only be done, in my opinion, in a concentrated space and form and time, right? Only because I'm an artist, I'm a performer. I come from that school in which when we do shit, we leave everything on the stage. It's never half-assed. So I can't leave everything on the stage for the rest of my life, else I might die, like real soon. I'm dramatic in saying that, but on the real, it takes a lot of energy to do what it is that I do. And I want to teach. I want to teach you that. So if I can't do it, you need to learn how to do it. You can pass that information on to the shorties. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's all about sharing. It's all about community. Wow, that's a download that wants to come through real quick. I do my best to try to be very individual. Forgive me if it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm coming to a point, y'all. I swear I am. This is Freestyle Fridays, so I can come on here and ramble if I want to, right? I do my best to do everything for community, and that's my word. I mean, social media and its networks seem to create itself around that gaze and around that notion. I don't think it holds itself true to that all the time, but I am the type of person that feels like the more we know, the more we need to share. Not the more we know, the more we need to charge motherfuckers in order to become rich. That's not the school I come from. I come from the fact that, yeah, I'm gonna make a little bit of money along the way. If I become rich with it, that's cool, but at the same time, I'm gonna share and I'm gonna give away more than at the same time, I'm gonna give away a whole lot as I'm making it. You understand what I'm saying? Because community, the age of Aquarius, and how we move through, and the power of abundance and prosperity comes from that space. However much you give is what you get. You dig? So I'm not one to hold back information, nor am I the one to hold back my secrets on some level. You know what I mean? I'm an open book. I'm so fucking real on that. Any question you might have, please, with respect, ask them. Okay. So if you want to sign up for the Village Hut, I really advise you to do that. There's a payment plan as well as the option to pay one full swoop. Again, it starts March 7th and it goes through April 25th. We meet every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. There's a question over here from Ms. Jackson. Does it mean something when some of our relatives and or friends who have transitioned show themselves in our dreams and others don't? I'm going to say yes. And here's but everybody is different, Tracy. So I'm going to do my best to answer this from a very general perspective. Oftentimes, when they do not show themselves in our dreams, we're either not ready or they're not ready. The latter means when they're not ready, this is what I've seen, right? And again, I'm not up to debate any of my findings. You either believe me or you don't. You're a grown motherfucker. I don't care. But this is how I see it. On the other side, when we pass on, there is a university, so to speak. There's a little nook in which we kind of hide out. And what that is, I mean, we go through the gates, so to speak, the proverbial gates, but we go to this university to learn what it is we need to learn. Or I should say, we review what we did learn on the planet before we left. Some people, entities, spirits, right? Souls, all a little stubborn in learning. So if they stay stuck, Tracy, in that university, sometimes they don't show up for us. Sometimes they don't come in our dreams. Sometimes they're not ready to show themselves because they haven't ascended past a particular level. Does that make sense, Tracy? But the other part too is that you may not be ready. You may not be ready to listen to what it is that they have to say as a human being. Maybe they'll scare the shit out of you. And that's the least thing, that's the last thing I should say, our ancestors and folks on the other side want to do. They don't want to scare us into learning, into being, into growing, into utilizing this life the best way possible. It's not about fear. It's not about the fear of God. It's the love of God. That part in religion, oh, I can go on so many goddamn squirrels right now. That part in religion is so incredibly false. So there's no fear on the other side. They're not trying to shake us in or muscle us into learning what this life is about. So that means they're not trying to bully our dreams to say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? You want to see me? Nah, Tracy, they're not doing that. It's about you being ready, and it's about them being ready, and it's about you opening up. And how about this? It's about possibly, maybe, Tracy, you are not the person that sees, or I should say, you are not the person, again, this is a long answer because it's very individual. Maybe you're the person that don't get prophetic information through dreams. Maybe you do through smells. Maybe you do through music. Maybe they send you messages through little baby's eyes or something, and when you look in a baby's eyes, all of a sudden you see somebody else that passed over, crossed over, whatever, and you start hearing their voice and a message comes through. The point of the matter is, and it sounds crazy, but it's fucking real. The point of the matter is that we need to empower, where I'm going with my message for today, the power of yourself. We need to empower ourselves to know how strong, or I should say, where is the strength within our intuition. Does that make sense, Tracy? So the reason why I say it like that too is because we all want some type of instruction. There comes a point where there's like some new information coming on the planet. I want to learn about crystals. I want to learn about meditation. I want to learn about yoga. I want to learn about how to horticulture. I want to learn about astrology. I want to learn about tarot. I want to learn about the I Ching. I want to learn about blah, 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 blah. And what we don't do, straight and foremost, right, is sit and allow spirit to tell us what we know already. Are y'all hearing me? I said I don't feel well, but I'm still high. I'm still high on what spirit got to say because I prayed. The bottom line is that we have the power. We have the knowledge within us. Oftentimes, we're so insatiable for knowledge, for information, for teachers and mentors, and receiving power outside of us to become our own, that we don't even realize that the answers and everything we need is within us. It sounds like a damn meme and so cliche, but it is very, very true. If you slow your ass down long enough, and this is not pointed to anybody, but if we slow our asses down long enough to listen, to look at a beautiful crystal and go, wow, what do you want to tell me, crystal? Oh, instead of what crystal is this? I should look it up and have 5 books on what crystal this is and devise the power within this crystal and how it can help me. No, feel the crystal, hold the crystal, put the crystal on your heart. Know that the crystal is doing something to you, and then ask, then pray on it, and believe the information that comes through. You understand what I'm saying? We don't need goddamn preachers. Listen, gurus are dead. And here's the deal. Let me start that part over, because I understand that people benefit from congregation, that this is a congregation. People benefit from groupings and retreats and things like that. But what I mean is we don't need anybody to feed into us when we're already full. You just have to trust it and believe in your own power. That brings me to today and the wonderful aspect that's happening today with the moon in conjunction with Pluto. Pluto is about power, y'all. The moon is in Capricorn, Pluto is in Capricorn. And by the way, squirrel, before I go back, I did a little bit of research, y'all. And for those that have, been coming to YouTube and listening to my weekly rundowns, paying attention, I have a hard time saying following. So sometimes I try to look for words instead of saying those who've been following me. I don't like that. I don't like that. So I like to say those that are in the village, in the tribe, in the situation, know that I've been talking my ass off about Pluto. Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, and it is going into Aquarius this year, but I did some further research. It won't be fully into Aquarius until March 2025. I hate to say that for all the Capricorns and people who have been transforming through this Pluto Capricorn kind of era. What does that look like? I'm gonna back it up even further. Pluto in Capricorn has been demolishing all structures, all traditions, white supremacy, racism, blah, 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 blah. Systems that have been set up for goddamn centuries. Colonialism is on fucking blow up territory right now, even though it's slow to change in its own way. At least people are rubbing their eyes going, what the hell? You understand what I'm saying? Because Pluto in Capricorn, destruction and all things Capricorn, demolishing things that used to be a standard, that used to be traditional, that used to be a rule, that used to be a law. They're no longer applicable and it's blowing up. So that's why it's been really, really hard for Capricorns and Capricorn type situations. For the next 2 years, it's going to go back and forth to do what? To make sure that you got that lesson, to make sure that we got that lesson. So by March 2025, I just want to let you know all the turmoil and all the breaking down of things and being and actually officially going into the age of Aquarius and feeling that age of Aquarius come up on us and allowing ourselves to hold to that sense of community that I was rambling about earlier. That'll come in a little bit, but now we got to roll up our sleeves and we have to actually stand in the power on who we are. What does that look like? It looks like being quiet, slowing down, shutting up, and listening to what it is they're trying to tell us. What it is that they're trying to tell us and how to utilize our strengths and our gifts and our talents. I feel like I'm about to say something that's very, very elementary, and I've said it 1,000 times. But again, I'm going to say it again. We come into this space knowing who we are. We already know. We already know. You got to trust that thing. I say to clients all the time, if God handed you $1 billion right now, what would you do for your day? What would you do within your day? How would you live out your day? That's a real fucking question. You can use that. You can create a workshop on that. You can ask a whole bunch of people the same question if you want. Use that, because the bottom line is this: if you had no worries, you had no fears of how you were going to survive, and there was no contention, no challenges on where to live, what to eat, how your kids would be handled, how the elders would be handled. If there was no problem, how would you spend your day? That answer is what your soul needs to do on this planet. That's where your power lies. Does that make sense? Come on, y'all. We need to talk about that. The moon and Pluto in Capricorn in this moment is coming together to say we have to practically understand where we stand. Practically understand how we need to open our mind and our bodies and our soul up to be able to trudge up the mountain and get exactly what spirit intended us to get in this lifetime. If we are wavering in any kind of way, we're getting thrown into the wind, y'all. There's no more time to second guess who you are. So with the sun going into Pisces tomorrow, that's even a better time, as this moon is conjuncting with Pluto and the sun going into Pisces. Pisces says, listen, you coming in here, it's all about meditation. You coming in here, it's all about knowing your genius. You coming in here, meaning you walking into this new Pisces season, it's all about knowing who you are intuitively. It's all about believing in that. It's all about going against anybody and everybody that thinks you're fucking crazy and downright loco. I was going to say a whole nother word to be truthful with you, but you're downright crazy for doing what you do. I'm going to open up a hot dog stand. Well, do that shit. If that's what you dream about all day and night, what are y'all doing? I feel like a broken record, but I feel like I need to keep saying this because a lot of us are getting off track. A lot of us want to fall back into habits because habits sustain this comfort level that we have. We don't have time for being comfortable. And how about this? We don't have time for, ooh, that's a big one that I made me want to jump up. We don't have time to continue to deal with the people that's holding us in a space, meaning the type of work that you want to do, the type of industry that you want to be in. And you say to yourself, now listen, I'm not saying be disloyal, but you say to yourself, okay, this friend and this friend, we've been trying to build this fashion line together for 10 years. How about this? And it never got off. How about this? Maybe your friends don't have enough information. Maybe your friends don't have enough clout. Maybe your friends, and you for that matter, are not in a space where you know enough. So maybe you should switch it up, roll the dice, get rid of a one or two friends, do it differently. Have different people around you. That doesn't discount your friendship or make you disloyal to anyone. Are y'all hearing me? It doesn't discount your friendship or make you disloyal to anyone. It means that you have to find your power elsewhere because this equation, it hasn't literally been working in years and decades, whatever, how long it's been. Our power is being asked to show up in a way that makes us look incredibly unique and kind of crazy right now. I just want to say that. Mercury and Jupiter is sitting together today too. So it's about coming up with that plan. We got to think about that. Think about that. Make the plan. See it as opposed to feeling it. See it and feel it, but see it. The feelings get a little misconstrued when all of a sudden you feel guilty because you have to say to a friend, I don't think this business plan is working, cuz we might have to part ways and come back next week or next year or 10 years from now. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, that's enough of that because I feel like I'm rambling. Anybody have any question? Any question? Are you loving this, Brianna? Oh, that's so sweet. How you doing, sweet Scorpio lady? Anybody have any questions? I'm looking for question marks. I'm looking for question marks in the comments because I do want to answer some questions today. I really, really do. I love you too, Deja. How you doing, Ms. Gomez? Listen. Oh, how do you ground yourself? I feel all over the place. That's what Conscious Chemist said on Instagram. I hope you're still here, sweetie pie, because that was a little while ago. How do you ground? Oh, there, you said it again. I'm with you. How do I ground myself? I take my shoes off and I go out and stand in the grass. How do I ground myself? I stretch. How do I ground myself? I hug my puppy. How do I ground myself? I talk to the plants. Me personally, that's how I ground myself. How do I ground myself? With breath. And I know these are like common answers, but it's so incredibly real and necessary to do these simple things. We were talking about this yesterday. Who was I talking to? Oh, I can't remember. I was talking to somebody and we were talking about going back to basics, where oftentimes we feel like, oh, who was I talking to? Anyway, I'm going to use the same analogy that I used with them. Oh, Heath. I was talking to Heath. I was using this. Was it Heath? Sorry, don't matter. I was talking to somebody and I said, it's like grandma saying, in order to make bread, you put together, and this might not be the ingredients, y'all, so don't try to judge me on my cooking. But the bottom line is like, it comes to making bread, you need salt, you need flour, you need water. That's it. So what do? We add the salt and the flour and the water. And then we want to put rose petals in there. Then we want to add maple syrup. And then we want to jazz it up with a little dash of dill. And then we want to, you see where I'm going? Like sometimes the basics is absolutely all you freaking need. If you want to ground yourself, go to the ground, cousin. It's in the description. It's in the understanding. If you want to ground yourself, simply sit your ass down. Oftentimes, again, with all of this metaphysical information that's becoming incredibly trendy, we want to add raisins to the shit. We don't have to add raisins when they've been doing it for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Before we even got here, human beings are new to this planet. Y'all get me? Human beings are new. So the bottom line is that oftentimes all we got to do is go back to the basics. We always want to look for a fancy answer because the fancy answer makes us feel a little bit more, the fancy answer makes us feel a little bit more advanced. The ego says, I got one up on somebody because I put raisins in my fucking cake. You look crazy because that cake and that bread tastes nasty. I'm just saying. It's not working. It may work for you and your ego may be pumped up, but at the end of the day, are you getting the same results as just flour, water, and salt? Do y'all hear my analogy? Y'all rock with me? You understand what I'm saying? It's about being quiet, Jay Walker. Sometimes it really, really is. And we have a hard time doing that in this technological world. We want to grab a phone, check Instagram. We want to turn on the TV and have something going on in the air. We want to put some music on just in case we miss that dope ass verse that Kendrick is dropping. We're in so many different places. We're just being pulled and we allow ourselves to be pulled. Now, honestly, and to be fair, Mars is still in Gemini. So there's a lot of energy in us that wants us to be pulled and be scattered in so many different ways. I understand that. I absolutely get that. But we have to force ourselves to be quiet sometimes. Shut everything off and put your timer on, at least for 5 minutes, and then the next day for 10 minutes, then the next day for 15 minutes, and increase the intervals until you can sit your ass down quietly. And they know this is what happens. They know you're showing up. Your ancestors and guides. They're like, oh shit, she did 10 minutes yesterday. She did 5 minutes a day before that. She's making a habit and a ritual out of this. We're going to show up. And in Tracy, they don't have to go in your dreams. They show up right when you're sitting there meditating. You dig what I'm saying? It's about being ritualistic. It's about showing up and doing the work, not just talking about it and wanting to put raisins in that bitch. I'm just saying. Y'all hear where I'm coming? Greetings. What if the person holding you back is your mother that you're not responsible for? I'm glad I saw that because the question marks was, y'all got questions today. I love it, and you're making my job easy. Let me tell you something. The question is 444, everybody. The question is, what if, and greetings to you, Queens 68. What if the person that's holding you back is your mother and that you're now responsible for? So I take that as she's an elder and she's under your care and you literally can't get around like not handling or talking to her because she's right there. I'm going to trepidatiously answer this question. Why? Because I don't know your situation. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm a fair person like that. I don't know your mother. You understand what I mean? So you could be telling me that your mother's holding you back, but at the same time, you could be treating her like goddamn misery or some shit. Oh, the warping sense of humor sometimes. I mean, you could be telling us one thing. Next thing you know, Queen 68, you abusing your mama. I'm just kidding. I'm really trying to laugh because I don't feel well. But you said she wants you to be her babysitter. Let me tell you something. Again, I do not see the full picture. And I understand that she may want you to be her babysitter. But at the end of the day, from that comment, all our parents turn back into kids, to be truthful with you. And it should be an honor to take care of them. That's how I feel. Now, that's the first and foremost answer. It's an honor to take care of them. They took care of us. Now, at the same time, and I would just want to leave that like as a serious period. Done. At the same time, though, I do understand personality. At the same time, I do understand the fact that it's hard to navigate around certain personalities, especially our mothers and our fathers, because, I mean, we have to deal with them, right? There's a part of me that feels, and I'm gonna be straight up and down, and I pray that no one takes offense to this, but there's a part of me that feels that we need to find a way to disengage from our parents on some way, emotionally. If you feel that you have a problem understanding them or emoting with them or talking to them, right? There's a way in which we have to do our best to kind of detach from all their decisions or the lack thereof, the information that they give or the lack thereof, how they treated you or the lack thereof. Like at the end of the day, we have to stop blaming them motherfuckers. If we keep shaming and blaming and pointing fingers, we're gonna keep translating what it is that they are and who they are as a burden and some kind of challenge. I hope this is making sense. I really, really hope this is making sense, because a lot of the times it comes from us. I'm that chick, y'all. I'm not saying that people are not responsible for making a relationship off kilter, and I'm not saying that it doesn't take two. It absolutely takes two, but remember the you in the two. Remember that you got to be responsible for you. Remember that you, and I know I joked about a misery situation and like you hurting or whatever, but the bottom line is think about what it is that you're doing and how you're adding to it. And here's the other part of it, what Spirit keeps knocking me over the head to say: be honest. Be honest, Ma. You know what? You're really fucking me up right now. I'm having a hard time understanding. Like, come from a real place. What you're saying is hurting my feelings, cuz I don't get it. I don't get you. And here's the deal. If your mother have any ounce of love in her for you, she'll get some semblance of the fact that, okay, I got to pull back, or I got to readjust, or I have to understand what's happening too. It's like when you open up honestly to say I have a problem from the spaces in your heart that feel vulnerable and true and tender and like their child again, in a way in which you are an adult. Understand this. If we act like they child, you understand, they're gonna treat us like that. Somehow we have to step up like, no, I'm an adult, but I don't understand how we got here. And until we can understand and go through this thing, then we're gonna have a relationship like this. Until we can both step to the table. This is a long fucking answer. Until we can both step to the table. You understand what I'm saying? Admit. And if you can't, then you have to treat her or him with a little bit of detachment. Because why? It fucks up your journey. But you got to be clear about what you're doing, honey pie. And that's the thing. Like, I can't answer it because what are you doing? I'm just saying. Oh, that was way too long. That was way too long. Okay. Somebody else had a question. I'm a Libra sun, a Libra moon, Sagittarius rising, Neptune and Scorpio. Are you doing any mini readings? Yes, Nelson, but I mean, maybe, I don't know. That's usually on Monday, but I appreciate you coming in here asking. I'm a Taurus sun. Okay, here we go. Cancer moon, Leo rising. I'm trying to get a better sense of who I am for over a year. I feel like I'm going through a change, but I don't know how to find me. Any advice? Gigi, fine gal, fab. That's way too general, baby love. That's way too general. And I'd love to do a reading for you. Because here's the thing. And I'm not trying to throw away these answers, y'all. On the real, it's just very, very difficult. If I open up, imagine me opening up the gates right now, and there's maybe 15 people watching. I think there's more than that. But the bottom line, if I open up the gates right now to tap into you, Gigi, then that means 15 people's ancestors and guides are coming through. This is how I do my readings, and this is how I tap in to see what's happening with you. That means everybody is rushing to the scene and shit. That's a lot on your girl. So your question, in my opinion, needs to be a little bit more specific. And I can't see your chart, even though you gave me some very, very interesting, planets and the placements that they're in, the signs that they're in. However, I will tell you this much. You do have a sun in Taurus. Without seeing the rest of your chart, which is huge. The sun in Taurus is actually colliding with Uranus in the North Node right now. Whatever challenges that you're going through, Gigi, it's supposed to put you on your purpose. Now, here's the deal. Why? Because the North Node is about purpose, Uranus is about change, and you are a Taurus, and they are both in Taurus. So here's the bottom line: are you stubborn? Is it hard for you to change some things that you don't want to change? And I mean that for real. I'm not trying to be funny. Why? Because Taurus energy is stubborn as fuck. Taurus don't want to do nothing different. They don't want to change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of shit. So this is a real sit down moment for you, sweetie pie, to sit back and be like, what am I holding on to? Like a miser even. What am I just not willing to? Well, I'll let you have this, Sonja. You can have this, but I'm going to keep this. And Spirit says, I need you to leave everything, bitch. I need you to drop it all. But you're like, I don't know. You're doing yourself a disservice. You got to sit and listen to that. All right. That's all I got for you. Am I on fire, Deja? I don't know. I don't know what you've been told. No questions over here on Instagram. If you have them, I'm going to leave you up for a little bit. Please ask them and make sure the question marks are popping out so I can see them. I can see them. Anybody else have any questions? How do you chase music and not lose your mind? Whoa. How do I connect with people through my music, even though people think I'm imitating? Imitating or intimidating? Who is that? Do I know you? The question again, how do you chase music and not lose your mind? How do you connect with people through music, even though people think I'm intimidating? Your name is Go or Goo? Goo, Go, Goo. Y'all have some interesting questions, first of all. Second of all, I can only speak from my perspective. Again, I don't know your story. I don't know your chart. I don't know your challenges. You have to look at your own challenges. I am that chick. If you ever have a reading with me, if you're ever blessed to have a reading with me, that was some Leo shit. I'm going to let you know because I'm the motherfucking bomb. If you're ever blessed to have a reading with me, I'm always going to throw it back in your face. I'm always going to ask you, what did you do? We're only looking at your chart. I'm not going to sit here and have a pity party with you and be like, oh, my mother did this, my father did this, my sister did this, my man did this, he beat me and he did this and he blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say you the reason why he beat you. But I want to say, when did you not see that he was the type of man that would beat you? The bottom line is, what's your responsibility, baby? And how about this? As far as intimidation and what creations you make, that's on you. Why you care? And who you intimidating? And who gives a fuck? I'm just saying. And I believe it's worth going crazy if you're chasing music. I'm crazy. I'm always chasing music. I'm always in front of music. I'm always around music. Music is what keeps us alive on so many levels. I met somebody that said they don't like music. I pulled back, was like, actually, there was a boyfriend of, there was an ex-boyfriend of a really good, dear friend of mine, my sister. And I turned around, looked at her, and I was like, and she's like, what's that look for you gave me earlier? I said, run, motherfucker. If you meet somebody that don't like music, there's a problem. There's a problem if you meet somebody or you sleeping with somebody that don't like music. That's like blasphemous. Who doesn't like music? The bottom line is like, what's the challenge in chasing music? Come on now. Go, girl. Listen, you better keep on that train. We need you. And if they intimidated, fuck them. All right. Any other questions? Sonja, I've recently been trying to work my intuitive muscles, specifically intuitive hearing. I feel this is, y'all like my question voice? I feel this is a strong gift I have, but I don't necessarily hear spirits. Does it show up in other ways? So how do you think you hear spirit? Spirit is through intuition. Maybe I'm not really reading the question properly. Are you asking, does spirit have a different voice? Spirit has all kinds of voices. Spirit has voices and sounds and smells, again, through music, through television, like messages that just come up, through the lights flashing and shit. Like spirit speaks in so many different ways. Spirit is the great goddamn, what you call it? Shapeshifter. Is that Giselle? Yeah, Giselle. Come on, baby. You know that. I'm gonna leave it just like that. Hi, Jennifer Bliss. How you doing? Does that make sense, honey pie? Spirit is always talking to you. You know that. Okay. Okay. Anybody else over here? I think I have a question on Instagram. Deja said, what do you need right now? What do I need right now? You're so cute, my Deja. What do I need right now? Truly, I need a glass of water. I should have brought some water over here to this desk, but I did not. That's all I need. I appreciate that. I'm a simple chick. But I like that you asked that, sweet lady, because a lot of people don't. Okay. Any other questions? What are some shields of protection when you start tapping in? Ooh, wee. First and foremost, Yashika, divine prayer, absolute prayer. And I know it's a throwaway answer, possibly, maybe, but it's not. Because the bottom line is prayer to me is powerful as shit. We sleep on prayer. We sleep on the power of prayer. And the bottom line is you can pray 17 times a day. So when I pray, I put this shield over me. I put white light over me or whatever color that I need because every color has a different vibration, you dig? And whatever color you need helps to protect you in different ways. Did y'all know that? So the bottom line, and we'll learn a lot of this in the Village Hut, by the way, if you want to learn astrology, if you want to learn how to protect yourself, you want to learn how to tap further into spirit, please sign up for the Village Hut. It's going from March 7th through April 25th. And it's only 8 spots. So jump on it. Link is in the bio on Instagram, and it'll be right below this video here on YouTube. But you can also go to my website, wordlifeastrology.com/village hut. All right. So yeah, I think I explained that. Prayer, that's the biggest shield that I put. But I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of things that I do that I don't share. And I said this once before, a couple of weeks ago. I believe in being sacred. I believe that our spiritual practices and our rituals, even though we share some things, right? Here where I'm going. We share some things to kick people off, to get them going. Along the way, we devise our own personal ways to protect. Why? Because Spirit says, I was really around you when you put that water by the bed. And you heard that and you go, wait, for real? Yes. So I need you to keep the water by the bed because that's your thing. Now, here's the deal, too. You can't have motherfuckers coming into your house questioning you, talking shit about your water by the bed. Because then it takes energy, it takes information, intention off of the prayer. You dig? So again, you got to be very, very careful about who comes in your space because your space is sacred too. Your space is the prayer. You dig that? That's your protection. Your Sheikah divine. You mentioned before that this is the year of the rabbit. It is. Can you please explain how it will affect those born under this sign? Oh, well, Gigi, it's the same, actually. It's the same information. But the bottom line, because I've done a rundown a couple of weeks ago in regards to the year of the rabbit, go back to that to get all the information, right? But in regards to you being born into the year of the rabbit, bottom line is that it's a lot easier for you to fall into the vibration of this particular year. I'm gonna be truthful with you. That's what I know. That's what I know. Specifically, it's about peace, right? Because it's a year of the rabbit. It's about peace. It's about transformation. Again, it's a lot of information that you can get in the 2023 rundown that I did a couple of weeks back. Forgive me, y'all. I'm losing a little steam because I'm trying to work through whatever it is these bugs trying to get into my body. I hope I answered that because really that's just it. You can Google that, baby, though. You can really do that. What are some shields? Okay, I got that. Boom, chicka, boom, boom. Anybody else have any questions? I'm going to be out of this joint because this little puppy needs to go to the bathroom. I'm going to do readings on Monday, y'all. So please come back, Nelson, and I'll read you on Monday. I promise. I absolutely promise. I just Yeah, I just don't have that energy right now. Okay. I hope this was helpful for some of you, for all of you, for a few of you. I appreciate you being here. Again, if you want to join the Village Hut and learn how to read astrological charts, connect with spirit, and strengthen your intuition, please hit me up on my website or hit the link in the bio. Okay, y'all good? Any last questions? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to add? I appreciate you for being here. I really, 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 really do. Have an awesome Friday and walk into this season of Pisces coming soon. I just love Pisces energy. It might be a little hairy for Sagittarius and Gemini because it squares who they are. But this information that's coming through, this Pisces information is necessary because we oftentimes forget who we are. We oftentimes forget the genius that has been bestowed on us. Why? Because we're too busy comparing ourselves to everybody else. There's this awesome card that's in this deck that I often read from here on Mondays, right? It's called the comparison card. And basically, they have a sweet little story about how it's so incredibly ridiculous to compare a bamboo tree with an oak tree. Why do we compare ourselves? Why do I compare me to you? You haven't walked my shoes. You haven't lived in Yonkers. You don't know shit about Yonkers. And if you do live in Yonkers, you don't know shit about living in Yonkers with my mother. You don't know shit about living in Yonkers with my mother during the time that I was there. So why should I compare myself to you? And why should you compare yourself to me? We are all brilliantly individual. That's why we need to tap into that power to bring that shit forth. And the only way we can tap into our power and bring that shit forth is to get quiet sometimes. And when the sun goes into Pisces, it's about getting a little quiet and about opening up and receiving and getting all the things that needs to be dropped down on us quicker than quick. And believe it, believe it, believe it. That's all I got for y'all. Okay. Take care of yourself. Oh, you Sheikah Divine. You came over on Instagram. Much love to you, honey. Take care of yourselves. All right. Have an awesome weekend. And please, very, very please be safe out there. There's a lot of craziness happening. You know why? Because Pluto is sliding out of this Capricorn information and they're losing. The structures, the powers that be are losing. So they're hiring people to take us out, all of us on some level. Be vigilant, as my mother would say, but more so, be peaceful. More so, find happiness because light always drowns that shit out. Your happiness, your joy, your prosperity, knowing exactly where you need to go, the power in which you sit in can demolish all of that fear that's trying to come at you. If you pay too much attention to the fear, it's sure enough going to grip you, okay? So don't pay too much attention to it. Just be aware. Much love to y'all. Have a great weekend yourself, Danielle. Bye. Bye, everyone.